How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. There's someone that's dumping a lot on retail investors right now, and it's making it really hard to get ahead if you don't see this type of thing coming and if you're not paying attention to when it's happening to you, because it's probably happened some point in the past. This is in crypto and in stocks. I want to talk about that. Also talk about some big things that are happening in the market right now. A big name investor just moved a lot of his money into Bitcoin and he just announced it. I also want to talk to you about a couple weird things that are happening in the market here today that you should be paying attention to. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on that bell notification. I do want to thank PODFAST, but we'll talk more about that later. As you can see, the cryptocurrency market is up a little bit here today. Overall, the market cap's up about 0.4%, Bitcoin's up 0.65%, but what's really odd is we're starting to see a lot of stocks up much more than Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin's up 0.65%, as I said. GBTC is up 3%. Coinbase up 4.14%. ETH up 4%. Mara stock up 2.53%. Riot up 1.9%. Backed up 2.33%. And MicroStrategy up 0.55%. Some of this could just be due to some of the exuberance, right? When we see, or some of the leverage, when we see Bitcoin move up a little bit, then the miners usually move up a little bit more. When Bitcoin goes down, the miners go down a little bit more. Maybe people are buying up ETH and GBTC because they think there's more of a chance that Grayscale is going to get their ETF approved. Or maybe it's partly that and partly because BlackRock is buying them up. We've actually seen large institutions buy up large amounts of some of these stocks recently, with BlackRock owning 4 of the largest 5 miners out there. So I would not be surprised if this continues, just trying these large institutions trying to get more exposure to cryptocurrency before the next bull run and before they can just add it on their books. And even if they could add it on their books right now, let's say it's Fidelity or BlackRock, they'd have a lot more questions to answer compared to if they just buy a company. Right? So that is pretty interesting to watch here today. It's something that's happened in the past too, but I continue to watch it, continue to see if those companies are outperforming, because it gives us some indication whether maybe there's something happening behind the scenes that we won't see until maybe next quarter. Speaking of something happening big behind the scenes, Mexico's third richest man, Ricardo Salinas, increased his Bitcoin position. I'll play this clip for you and then we'll talk about it.
In the liquid part of the portfolio, I now opted to, I basically just have Bitcoin, MicroStrategy, 4 or 5 miners, and some oil companies and some gold miners. That's it.
So if you don't know who this man is, back in 2020, it came out that he had 10% of his liquid assets in Bitcoin. So he's been a bull for a while. He's probably made some money on it because this is from November 18, 2020, which means that Bitcoin was probably lower than it is here today when he bought it. This also means that we don't know exactly how much he has in Bitcoin, but he upped it from 10%. And it sounds like the majority of his holdings, based on how he's saying it, are in crypto-related companies. He doesn't say the percentages, so maybe it's 80% oil and gold, and then it's 11% Bitcoin and 9% miners or something. But it sounds like it's pretty heavy on Bitcoin mining and MicroStrategy and Bitcoin. So it sounds like maybe that's over half of his portfolio now. Now, this is Mexico's third richest person. I believe his net worth is around 20 million. Before this, he had a lot of precious metal miners. He said 90% of his investments are tied up in those miners. And it's just interesting to see some of these billionaires float more and more into the cryptocurrency world and realize that they want to hold more and more for the next bull run. These are the people that we are competing with as whales here. And if they're bullish, I think it's probably good if we're bullish as well. Now, you have to be careful. Even if you've been in crypto for a while, you can still make stupid mistakes. A crypto whale lost 24 million in staked Ethereum due to a phishing attack. A significant portion of stolen funds has been transferred into the fully automatic cryptocurrency exchange Fixed Float. So it sounds like it was just another phishing scam, and they clicked on a link or something and lost a significant amount of their money. Be careful around emails, be careful on advertisements, or be careful even on influencers that post something that's a little bit weird. Maybe they're talking about a giveaway or sending them cryptocurrency, then they'll send back. Obviously, just avoid all that stuff. I think most of us know that, but there are new people in cryptocurrency. Speaking of that, I had a newer person in cryptocurrency that joined the Patreon, and they sent me a bunch of questions. I actually just did a 20-minute exclusive video that I posted to the whole Patreon going through some of those questions. So if you want to join that Patreon, that's the kind of stuff that we can do now. We won't be able to do in the next bull run because there won't be enough time. At that point, it will really just be me pushing content out, not really receiving questions as much and then answering them. So if you want to join the Patreon, you can check out the link underneath the video as well. But I do want to talk about a CEO that actually sold a significant amount of the company recently. I want to talk about why we have to avoid that, how we can avoid that, how that pertains to cryptocurrency. Now, I want to stop here for a second and talk about something that has been kind of a problem for me specifically, and that's that I literally don't have enough time to consume all the content that I want to listen to, whether it's audiobooks, podcasts, YouTube videos. I'm literally always watching YouTube videos. I don't know how a lot of other people have time to make it work since I am doing this 24/7 basically, which is why I wanted to talk to you about PODFAST. PODFAST can turn any file, audio, or text into an easy to read or easy to listen to summary. So you can see I uploaded a video from Meet Kevin since he has so many. Every few hours, he has a new video that you need to watch. I uploaded this video that's 24 minutes long, and within seconds, I got an easy-to-read summary of it in just a few paragraphs. It's not just text-based either, like ChatGPT. It also gives you audio summaries as well. It's not really just convenience, it's freedom because it gives you some of your time back. That's what we're looking for, time freedom. They also have the PODFAST token, which is the FAST token, where you literally get rewarded just for learning. The mobile app drops next week, which is why they're doing a big marketing push. This is a sponsored post, a sponsored part of the video, but I really like this project. I really like this company and what they have to offer. So if you want to get some of your time back and learn and have more freedom, click the link underneath the video and give PODFAST a go. Trust me, you will not regret it. Check out the link and let's get back into the video. So the NVIDIA CEO and president, Jensen Huang, I might be saying that wrong, has cashed out over $42 million in shares over the last week. Whenever I hear something like this, I think, okay, there are a variety of reasons to sell. There's only one reason to buy. Obviously, we don't know exactly why he's selling. Maybe it's something that's planned, but this typically isn't the best sign. You want to see insiders buying, and I realize this is pertaining to the stock market, but we'll bring it back to crypto here in a minute. This is something I think we need to pay attention to in crypto as well. This person was the CEO and co-founder and president of NVIDIA. So he's been around for a while. He's got a net worth of $43.3 billion. So this is not a huge transaction for him. Most of his money is probably tied up in NVIDIA. So again, we're talking about maybe 0.1% of his net worth. So he probably holds a lot of shares. That being said, NVIDIA has run up a lot. He sold shares. I mean, there's no question that this company has become a lot more valuable. CEOs want to sell too at certain points. They want to diversify because most of their net worth is tied up in one company. So it makes sense sometimes to sell and buy other assets, buy property, that kind of thing. But it's still not something you necessarily want to see. I mean, this is going to make headlines because it's an insider selling a lot of shares. Something I think is even worse, though, is this. And this came out maybe about a week ago. Peter Rawlinson is the second highest paid CEO, according to automotive news, at least in like the automotive industry, maybe not overall. Actually, this looks like it's everything. We'll see. But he got paid $379 million last year. Now, I think this is much worse than Jensen Huang, who got paid $500,000, because they've actually been able to grow like crazy. I mean, NVIDIA has given a lot of value back to shareholders. They're up 237% on the year. They've grown their revenue explosively. They have done everything right this year. And this guy founded the company. So he should be able to benefit from them doing really well. Now, the other company, though, Lucid Group, Peter Rawlinson is the CEO, and I think this is a whole different scenario. Lucid got $608 million worth of revenue in 2022. Now, the Lucid CEO got paid almost 2/3 of that in his salary. Now, most of these are stock options. Some of it is base salary, like $600,000. So not very much compared to how much he got paid overall. But this dilutes shareholders. This makes it much harder for people to buy the stock and actually make money on it because they're being diluted by someone like Peter Rawlinson, and he's not even doing well. The company is not doing that well. When you look at the stock, over the last 5 years, it's down 40%. Over the last year, it's down 60%. He's also selling some of his shares. Like this is back from 2022. Lucid CEO sells $160 million worth of Lucid stock. It's all part of the plan. They talk about how it was planned well in advance. He's not jumping ship as some Lucid critics would hope because this was planned. And this is what a lot of people come back to. This is something that I've talked about too. Oh, well, they're not selling because we're at a local top. They've had this in their plans. But they talk about how he was planning to sell from months before, like sometime in July of 2021. So, yeah, he was planning to sell here because he still thought it was overvalued at $24. And it went all the way up to $55. He just planned his cash out. So even though he sold, $24, $25, something in there, he was happy to sell because this company has gone down 74%. He cashed out a significant amount. And this is when he probably thought the company was overvalued because it was trading above Ford, GM, all these other car companies, and they're barely doing any revenue. So someone like this, I think this is a lot worse to get paid $400 million when you're making $600 million in revenue as a company. This is unbelievable. It's unbelievable that he would even accept that if he really wants this company to thrive. Because right now, they are burning cash like crazy. Now, this also happens on cryptocurrencies. A lot of people think, oh, well, there's no CEO of so-and-so coin, whatever, Polygon or Litecoin or Shiba Inu. So there can't be any dilution. There's no one taking a salary. But that's not always true. We get token unlocks all the time where someone invested early in some cryptocurrency and then they get a certain amount of tokens at a certain time and they're paid out in tokens. Or we have a bunch of dilution because they give significant staking awards. There are a lot of different things that can happen, but you can just look up token unlocks. Do this for some of the cryptocurrencies that you're looking at buying or that you have bought. And there are a bunch of different websites. This one's just DeFi Llama. I use a various websites to take a look at this, but this one shows Arbitrum is going to have 87% dilution in an upcoming unlock. So in 196 days, they're going to almost double their supply. That's crazy. In the next 1 year, the 1 year emission is 137%. So a lot of people that were invested very early on in this or were in early or are part of the team are going to get a lot of tokens. Are they going to want to keep them all in Arbitrum, or are a lot of them going to sell? And this is not going to be as watched as something like Lucid CEO selling or something else that could dump the price, like just from the news of it all. This is just going to be people kind of in the background that we have no idea who they are or what they're doing, and they're going to dump. So they're not going to be held to a higher standard or anything like that. They're going to get their tokens. They're going to sell out. This is something you have to watch for. This is something you have to be careful of. This is something you don't want to be invested in, right? So that's why a large portion of my portfolio is in Bitcoin, because we don't have anything like that. We don't have huge token unlocks. It's very obvious what's going to happen in the future for the most part. And I do invest in some smaller cryptocurrencies that might have token unlocks, but I think the adoption is going to outweigh that. I think the amount of people they're going to bring in are going to outweigh the amount that is unlocked or the staking rewards and stuff like that, the selling pressure. Now, let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. Let me know if you like looking at news in the stock market. Let me know, because I do like to cover a lot of that. And there is a little bit more Tesla news. Honda and Acura announced today that they've reached an agreement with Tesla to adopt Tesla's North American charging standard for the charging port of its EV models that will go on sale in North America starting in 2025. More companies using Tesla chargers. Great news for Tesla, great news for Tesla stockholders. And it just really shows that Tesla is, I guess, the overall lead in the EV industry. And now how this affects their economics, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how much they get paid from some of these other companies to allow them to use their network. Still, though, I think this does show, again, that Tesla is dominant in their position, and I think it'll keep on growing from here. Now, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Hit the like button, hit subscribe if you like this. Check out PODFAST, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.